Hello and welcome to EDU 10,004. This is a bit of a different Collaborate preparing for the team task A3. So you'll notice that we've got 5 steps to do, and some parts are individual and some parts are team. And sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming to do a team task when you're working remotely. So we have a lot of students who go through this, they're a little bit overwhelmed, and then they get to the end and they say, you know what, I thought that was going to be harder than it was. And I'm very, very pleased to have one of those students join me on audio now. This is Trudy. Say hi, Trudy.
Hi everyone.
Trudy went through last teaching period, and she's a busy woman. She's got 4 children, she's got a farm, she works, she's got a lot of things going on in her life, and she managed to get through it. Phew. How was it, Trudy?
It was a bit tricky at times, but I think you find a way to make it work. And exactly like you said, Jen, it seems daunting at the beginning, but it certainly isn't at the end.
Great. And did you have how big was your group?
We had 4 in our group. And we were 4 very different people. So there was me with kids, there was another lady with kids, and there were 2 school leavers. So we had very different schedules and lifestyles and different time, but we made it work.
Excellent. And so how did you start? Like, how did you guys sort of find each other and get going?
Well, we went straight onto the team collaboration board that was set up for our team, and just in the early days we all introduced ourselves so that everybody knew what everybody's schedule was like and when we were going to be available, and that's how we introduced ourselves to each other. And then we just all started to work together with a bit of a timeline, setting down times that we could get together and do things. And unfortunately there was never a time when we could all be together at the same time, so we really had to work around that. And the easiest thing that we found was we would set a day and we might say, okay, Sunday we're all going to be online and work on step 1 together.
Okay.
And we would not necessarily be all on at 9 o'clock, but it would be a matter of someone jumping in and starting, and then somebody else jumping in a little bit later in the day and doing a little bit more work on it. And it was just a little bit like that. So we weren't all necessarily on there together, but by the end of the day, everything was done.
Oh, that must have been good. And so would you sort of just jump on and see what had to do next, or did you bring some information with you? How did you make that work?
Well, with step 1, we obviously had to all add a little bit ourselves because we were reviewing the scenario. So it was almost like first in, best dressed. The first person would start off and put their little bit of information in, and then the next person would jump in and do their little bit. And then at the end of the day, if we were lucky enough to be on around the same sort of time, or if it was just one person who went through and tinkered with a little bit, that's what we did. So I think a key thing too is to not be afraid to change somebody else's work or to have somebody change yours, because it is obviously a team. So I think when you write something, it sounds good to you, but then when somebody else reads it, they can pick little things that need to be adjusted and
Yes.
be improved on. So that was a really good thing. Our team would get everything on that Sunday, for example. For the step 1, we really did knock it out in one day.
That's great.
That first section. So just at the end of the day, I got on and did my review of it, and then somebody else reviewed it, tinkered with a few little things, and by the end of the day we had a good piece.
Oh, that's good. And then so you jump into steps 2 and 3 and do your own bit and come back again. So when you joined again, was it a similar sort of thing?
With the step 3 one, we did it a little bit differently, because in step 2 we had all done our own theory.
Yes.
In step 3, we each did our section. We did a little, like a positive and a negative on our theory. And with step 3, we actually ended up well over word count. By the time we'd all put our bits and pieces in, we were well and truly over. I think we were at about 400 words, which was twice the recommended amount. So we just went through and just really cut it back to the really important pieces that we needed to narrow down to theory that we were going to do in step 4.
Yeah.
So although it was, we still did it through the same process of everyone going in that day and putting in their bits and pieces.
Yes.
But we really focused on that one theory that we did. So I would go in and focus on, I did sociocultural theory, so I did my positives and negatives for that, and then somebody else did humanism and they did the positives and negatives for that, and then we just really cut it back in the end and focused in on that one theory that we were going to do. That's
great. Is there anything else that you found tricky, or any tips or tricks that you've got for anyone? I love that you said, you know, no one in your team was too precious. If they popped something up, someone else adjusted it. It's kind of what happens in teamwork. It's just different when you're remote. Is there anything else that you think made a difference for your team?
I think you make a good point there, that because you're not meeting face to face, you lose that personal connection with people. So you don't have that ability to have a friendly, I just had to fix up your little bit here. You don't have that because you're not face to face and you don't have that personal connection. But you still have to try and be that way, even though it's online, and you still have to try and build a bit of rapport with these people. And I mean, we had a bit of a hiccup. One of our team members was missing for the first 3 steps. We got to step 3 and 4, and we're going, okay, well, maybe we just have to keep going without this person, because something had happened in her personal life and she was just so busy she hadn't been able to get to it.
Yes.
But we couldn't sit around and wait.
Yeah.
We had to keep moving. So we did, but then very late in the piece, the week before it was due, she surfaced again. And understandably, she had a lot going on in her life.
Yes.
But she came in and she put in her piece and she did her bit, and she went back and she changed the pieces that needed to be changed to include her section in it. So I think too, you need to make sure you meet the deadlines. You need to set deadlines for the team. You need to say, okay, we're going to have step 1 finished by this day, and then once those deadlines pass, if somebody hasn't contributed, you need to keep moving.
Yes.
You can't sit and wait, otherwise you're going to be a week before the end of the assignment's due and you're not going to have it done.
Yes. Oh no, that's really good to hear, because I know sometimes people can be a little bit reticent, like, I don't want to seem like I'm mean, but really we do have these steps, and it's a real culmination of everything that we've learned in 12 weeks. And if you don't sort of keep moving through each step, before you know, week 12 will be there, and it'll be a mad rush. So that's a really good point, to keep going and to follow all those timelines. And if someone misses, just let your ELA know and just keep ploughing through. As long as everyone's got at least one person to work with, then you can show collaboration. So if anyone's ever worried about, okay, we've got 4 team members but only 2 are really engaging here, we can't really get contact with the others, don't worry, because you will be demonstrating that you're collaborating perfectly with one other person. So is there anything else, Trudy? Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope that your coming teaching period is awesome.
Thanks so much, Jen.
Thanks for your time, Trudy.
No worries, my pleasure.
Bye. Okay, that was Trudy, everyone. She has helped us out a little bit, because I know that A3 can be a little bit overwhelming. So hoping that your tips and tricks have helped, and that you can jump on in and find your team members and give it a go. Okay, thank you.